Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. My name is Amir. So for today's episode, I want to talk about one of the biggest names in the NBA that could possibly be on the move this offseason or before the trade deadline. And for this video, I want to talk about why the Miami Heat needs to go after that player if he does request or demands a trade this offseason. So according to Shams Charania, he said that Giannis has been having serious conversations with his inner circle about his future with the Milwaukee Bucks, and multiple teams are already preparing for the moment that he does hit the trade market and are trying to build the best offers possible. So let's play the clip and hear from Shams directly.
You know, Shams, I can't let you leave until I check in regarding something else. Giannis, he's making waves this offseason, but tell me, what's the latest? Anything more there?
As we sit here on August 4th, sources tell me there is nothing set in stone about whether Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to stay in Milwaukee or whether he wants to leave elsewhere. He's been evaluating his future this entire offseason. I reported way back in mid-May that he's open-minded about whether his best fit is in Milwaukee or is it a trade elsewhere. That process has been continuing. There's been some real conversations he's having with his inner circle, from my understanding. And the one big question that is surrounding Giannis Antetokounmpo, that's surrounding his camp, is can he win another championship? Is this Bucks roster built for this upcoming season, for 2026-27, for him to win another championship, his second championship? We know how bad he wants to do that. And so only Giannis Antetokounmpo can make that determination, and clearly he wants to do it on his own time. I will say this. There are multiple teams that I know of that are literally waiting right now on what decision Giannis Antetokounmpo makes, waiting to see, does he actually hit the market? Training camps don't start till mid-September. There have been examples in the past. Kyrie Irving was traded to the Boston Celtics in August when he got moved. Damian Lillard was actually traded to Milwaukee in September. So there are deals that happen late in summers.
You know, Shams, I can't let you.
So the Milwaukee Bucks basically haven't delivered anything since their championship back in 2021, and they flamed out of the playoffs early every round in the past few years. And despite having Damian Lillard for the past two seasons, he's been injured during both of their playoff runs. They still couldn't make a deep run with him. So it's been unfortunate. They've been unlucky. And Giannis has been amazing. Like, he just wrapped up another MVP caliber year. I think he's like a top 3 player in the league. Averaged 30 points, almost 12 rebounds, 6.5 assists on over 60% shooting, which is just insane efficiency for a guy who's carrying his team on both ends. So that's also on the offensive end, scoring 30 points per game with all eyes on him, with defenses loading up, building a wall on him essentially every possession, every game, and he's still dominating. So it's clear that the Bucks are not going to be able to compete this next season. Damian Lillard tore his ACL, or Achilles. He's going to be out for the entire year. They haven't made any significant moves. Like, their roster on paper doesn't look good. They lost Lopez. They lost a couple other players as well. So they don't really have a clear path or a good enough team to compete, even in a weakened East. So if Giannis is thinking about asking out, the Miami Heat need to be the first on the phone and call him immediately. So I think having Giannis would make this team a contender. Now imagine Giannis in Miami under Eric Spoelstra, the best coach in basketball, the best coach he would have ever had, surrounded by a Miami Heat culture that thrives on accountability, that thrives on defense, and doing whatever it takes to win. So this isn't a rebuilding team. This is a franchise that wants to retool, and they've been in the finals twice in 5 years. And we find ways to win. We find ways to build winning teams, whether it's through the draft, undrafted gems, developing players like no other team has, like Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, developing these late picks into all-stars is something we could do. And Spo could unlock a version of Giannis that could make him even better somehow. You know, he's in his prime. He's 30 years old. He's got probably 3, 4, 5 great years left under his belt. And I think he can, maximize his strengths with the Miami Heat. He could fit in with our elite coaching. And I think that's something the Miami Heat needs to focus on. Offensively, Giannis paired with Bam Adebayo, assuming we can keep Bam Adebayo. I'm not delusional, realizing that if we're going to trade for Giannis, Bam Adebayo is the first person I'm going to ask for. But if we could somehow keep him, that would be a nightmare for defenses. They could run pick and rolls, high-low actions, inverted pick and roll, inverted sets. Both can pass, both can finish. But also, what's going to be scary is the defense. Imagine a defense led by Giannis and Bam. That would be the best front court in the NBA defensively. Switchability, rim protection, transition defense, perimeter defense. It's all there. Like, that is why I would rather keep Bam, if applicable, which I don't think it is. I'm not crazy. But if you can have those two, then you find the shooters and another scorer somewhere else. You figure that out. Like, it's hard to find another Bam Adebayo who's such an anchor. And the other thing about Giannis, like, he's just a delight. Like, you can't overlook his personality. You can't overlook his mentality. He's obsessed with winning. He doesn't care about drama. If he does care about winning, he needs to request a trade because the Bucks are not winning anytime soon. So he is someone that just wants to work hard, wants to improve, and wants to dominate. And that's literally the Miami Heat's way. They need a guy who can come in, who is disciplined, who has the structure, who has the accountability, the guy who's one of the most dominant players in the NBA in the past decade. That is something that the Miami Heat needs. He would fit perfectly with this team. And I don't know if it's possible to get it done. Like, he's going to be making 50-something million per year. If we trade Tyler Hero, obviously he would be the centerpiece that I would offer. He is a one-time All-Star. If we don't make a trade before the trade deadline, then maybe he can continue where he left off. And if he's ascending and if Tyler's becoming even more of an All-Star, then maybe you keep Tyler and then you trade Bam. And then that's going to be one of the best offers out there. If you give Bam all three of your tradable picks and then filler, whatever that may be, like, I mean, if you could also make it a multi-team trade, or if you can get multiple players back with Giannis, then you throw in Andrew Wiggins, you throw in Bam Adebayo, you throw in Norman Powell somehow, you throw in all the picks, you throw in Kasparis, you throw in Jovic, you trade every single person as long as you pair Giannis with Bam, or if you pair him with even Tyler Hero, I don't care. You figure that out, you upgrade from Bam to Giannis, your team is automatically better. And you could figure the rest out. Like, then build around Tyler and Giannis, you figure that out. That's all that matters. Like, you figure that out. I don't know if it's enough. It's going to be very hard to compete, but I mean, if we do give up Bam Adebayo, then we're at least at the table. We can actually have a conversation, 3 first-round picks, young guys, whoever you want, and that would change the trajectory of this Miami Heat team. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think Giannis is going to actually request a trade? If he does, do you think the Miami Heat would trade Bam Adebayo to get him? Do you think they could trade Tyler, Norm, Wiggins, picks, young guys, and that would be enough to compete with other teams as well?